We spoke with the guy who's in charge of the company that's been on the other side of the bargaining table with AT&T. Didn't work out, but T-Mobile USA CEO John Legere joined us with his take on the deal.
How about this one, Liz? In the middle of 2014, when they announced the DirecTV acquisition, they have not added a single postpaid phone customer since. So revenues are declining, customers are declining, and they're trying to vertically integrate into new growth businesses. And a lot of that is because on an average month, about 50% of the increase in our business comes from AT&T. So in the short term, I'm so happy with this massive distraction that they're going to go through because it's going to ensure continued movement from AT&T to us.
Okay. Well, here's my question. Listen, the Department of Justice, the FCC, they offer comment periods, long stretches of time where anyone from operators to competitors to everyday consumers can weigh in. Will you and T-Mobile be weighing in on the comment period here on this merger? And if so, what will you say?
Well, I pretty much weigh in on everything, Liz, as you've noticed, and
yes,
I will, certainly participate in this. Here's a couple of things that I think about. The only thing that scares some people is if AT&T could acquire massive amounts of content. TV, CNN, HBO, I know all those, non-Fox things, but, movies, and then attempt to preferentially control it for their customers. Now, number one, that would kill those businesses that they're buying, so it's a dumb thing. And number two, that would be an antitrust thing that I want Washington to look at. So assuming they're not going to do that, then, there's really no negative impact to me. The other thing that I'm very strongly want Washington to look at is I believe that AT&T should divest Batman, because they have no rights to be controlling Batman after this merger.
Okay.
Very important.
Well, let's get to superheroes and anti-heroes, and some of them are in the regulatory business in Washington, D.C. Given what you know about deal approvals of companies that have things like telecom licenses or wireless ability, and certainly you could throw in broadcast licenses, Time Warner doesn't have those. So there is some questions, some chatter that AT&T would try to bypass the FCC, which has been a lot more difficult on those kinds of issues, because Time Warner wouldn't have those kinds of problems. They don't have those kinds of licenses, and then AT&T would simply go to the Department of Justice. What do you think about that, if they were to simply avoid the FCC? Is that a possibility?
Listen, I'm sure you saw this weekend that even the presidential election process was weighing in on the Time Warner AT&T deal. I know the Senate has already, started calling on hearings. This is going to get a full, thorough review. Now, this is just me without consulting, but I actually think it'll be a very long road, and there'll be some things they have to do, but it'll probably go through.
Let me jump over to the Samsung 7 issue with this phone. This has become a bigger problem than it ever started off as. And, the Wall Street Journal had a big weekend cover story about how they believe and they feel that Samsung fumbled this by jumping too quickly to recall without knowing the problem, because their fix did not fix the problem, and then the problem only became bigger. What are you seeing in your stores now, and to whom are they diverting? We've got the Google Pixel phone out there. Does that stand a chance to grab some of that Samsung Note 7 business?
Right. First of all, I believe Samsung is doing exactly the right first thing to get past this issue, which is, if there is if there's anybody in the world that hasn't done it yet, if you have a Note 7, shut it off, power it down, return it for a full refund and a different device. First, no stop. Samsung is completely bearing the cost for this, and they're doing it in a significant way. But to your point, Liz, there's a couple of other devices that are getting a lot of attention. The LG V20 came out recently, and it's a beautiful device that people are taking a look at. And the Google Pixel, which the world got this strange idea is exclusive to Verizon, can be purchased directly from Google, unlocked and used. And yeah, I think I've got one. I've tried it. It works beautifully on a network, and I think it's going to get a look as well. But Samsung will survive, and they'll thrive. They're a great company, and I think they're taking the first right steps.
John Legere of T-Mobile, thank you so much.